So this was an idea I talked about a long time ago, and I tried to do it, but the problem is that it got a little too big for me. It was cool in concept, but I could never get it to work out in actual story-wise. And that idea, as you can see right here, is Superman, the Superman of the Fire Nation. And the Superman of the Fire Nation is basically like I know what you're thinking. Well, what's Superman doing in the Avatar universe? What crossover is this? It's actually more of an Elseworld story. It's more like a DC Elseworld story. As with most, I kind of got the idea from after reading Superman Red Sun for the first time. I was like, you know, what would it be like if Superman crash landed in the Four Nations and was raised in the Fire Nation? So this story is pretty much that idea. It's pretty much what if as with most Superman Elseworld stories, is what if Superman crash landed, the Superman pod, Kal-El's pod. Ugh, I am so tongue-tied right now. Basically, Kal-El's pod crash lands in the Four Nations, specifically in the Fire Nation. And you're probably thinking, oh no, he's going to be raised by Ozai. Nope. He actually is taken in by Iroh. He is actually found and discovered by Iroh, who at the time still has his young. Lieutenant is about 8 or 9, 10 at the most, and Iroh raises him as his adopted son, and yeah, he raises him and after seeing a message from Jor-El, he sees that that's the baby's name, so he calls him. So from here on out, he's known as Prince Kal of the Fire Nation. However, since he was adopted, he doesn't have the same. Even though he's in Prince by name, he can never become Fire Lord because he was adopted. He is not a true member of the royal family. Ozai basically had it that Ozai went behind Iroh's back and went and talked to his father and went, hey, hey, Pop, you know how my your other son adopted a new kid that could easily get the line going? Yeah, he's not really a firebender, nor is he from the Four Nations. So can we do something? And Azulon's was like, yeah, he's not entitled to the the fire. He's not entitled to our family name. He's never going to be Fire Lord. So yeah, Kal-El is basically Jon Snow in this story. So Prince Kal of the Fire Nation is raised alongside Lieutenant under Iroh's guidance. But when he gets a little older, it becomes very clear that he is not a bender at all. He is some kind of being from the start. He is like, yeah, some being in a lot of the members of the Fire Nation think he's the Avatar, but then the Fire Sages go, no, that's not the Avatar. He's something else. He is a sign of the power that the Fire Nation now has. So yeah, Iroh, even though he never wanted Kal to fight, he realizes that yeah, Kal can be a great asset to the Fire Nation. He can bring a lot of change to it. So yeah, he basically trains Kal alongside Lieutenant to be a warrior, and the siege of Ba Sing Se goes pretty well in due time. The Fire Nation actually gets a lot more ground with Superman, with the Superman of the Fire Nation, as he's called by the Earth Kingdom and the Water Tribe. He's basically known as the Superman of the Fire Nation. I had this idea where he wears Fire Nation armor, and where the S would be, it's the Fire Nation symbol. He's got the Fire Nation cape, yeah, and a big firebender armor. And they tell all these stories about what Prince Kal can do. Basically, Prince Kal can leap over a single air temple in a single bound. He's more powerful than a Fire Nation tank. Faster than I don't know, Cheetah Monkey, that was it, because weird animals get made up all the time, so faster than a speeding Cheetah Monkey. More powerful than a Fire Nation tank, able to leap air temples in a single bound. Prince Kal, the Superman of the Fire Nation. So the the Battle of Ba Sing Se actually ends because yeah, the Earth King is like, what the dude? We can't fight this. Yeah, the Fire Nation gets the Earth Kingdom. So what happens is that, yeah, you're probably thinking, well, the war is over. Ba Sing Se and all the other cities have probably bowed before the Fire Nation and all that. and, you know, Lu Ten wasn't killed. That's where you're wrong. Lu Ten is actually assassinated by a hit that Ozai put out, and he didn't put it out on Kal because, one, he knew that any assassin he threw at him would basically die, and two, he already knew, yeah, Kal can't get the throne because he's not, you know, part of our royal blood. So, yeah, I can just kill Lu Ten, and that would be the end of it. Yeah. So, Ozai orders a hit on his own nephew, has him killed, and, yeah. Kal is basically left in the Fire Nation to be their enforcer, while Iroh, of course, it goes about as well as you think. Iroh and Zuko go off on their own little adventure to find the Avatar, but at that point it's more like a formality to keep Zuko away. Whereas Prince Kal is left behind to protect the Fire Nation and enforce their rule. And yeah, Kal hanging around Azula and Ozai and everyone else. Yeah, he's the only optimistic person. He's basically a lot like, it's very much like a Moses thing, where a lot of the Fire Nation slaves look to him for guidance, a lot of them look to him for help, and it is very much, you know, since he was raised by Iroh, Kal is very outgoing. He's very much like the Kal we know, but he very much believes in the Fire Nation ideals, and he was always raised to believe that the Fire Nation way is the right way, and we are trying to save these people from themselves, until he finally sees, oh no, I was wrong. And now you're probably thinking, well, where does Aang fit into all this? Aang, at this point, is still submerged under the water. He is still under the water. He is still in the iceberg. But the thing is that he doesn't really factor in, because at this point, the Southern Water Tribe is under the Fire Nation control. It's under Fire Nation occupation, same with the Water Tribe, the Northern Water Tribe. So Katara and Sokka never found Aang. But, yeah, the main focus is, Prince Kal and his labors to protect the four nations, because he wants to, you know, prove that the Fire Nation can be great. He can prove that it can be great without this power and terror they're enforcing on everybody. And so that's as far as I got, but I did have all these ideas for different versions of Superman enemies. Like, Parasite is like this dark spirit who hunts from village to village like a demon. Livewire is a firebender who can just bend electricity. What else? Metallo is actually... I had this idea where they find kryptonite, and Ozai, thinking that, yeah, I can finally get rid of Kal, he's becoming too much of a problem. So yeah, he puts on this like Iron Man-like suit and has the kryptonite power in his chest. So yeah, Ozai basically becomes like a version of Metallo. Brainiac was also going to be in the story, but again, you can see why this story got away from me, guys. You can easily see why this story got away from me. Now, I did have something in mind for Zod, and it's a lot different because in this story, in this universe, because like I said, this is a DC Elseworld story, in this story, Krypton was never destroyed. Krypton was actually saved. They actually listened to, the High Council listened to Jor-El, and they stopped, they saved Krypton at the last moment. And now you're thinking, well, why is Kal sent to the Four Nations? Why is he sent to, that world? Because what happens is that after the whole thing happened, after, Krypton is saved by the High Council, Zod comes in and is like, this wouldn't have happened if you had listened to us in the first place. We got lucky. So you know what? I'm going to launch a military coup, and I'm going to kill everyone who's part of this High Council. And Jor-El tries to stop them. Zod kills him and Laura. But before they are killed, because, yeah, they already had Kal, Jor-El gets this idea of, oh god, he's going to kill every one of us, so I need to send him away so the House of El's bloodline can continue. So yeah, Krypton is now under military dictatorship under the rule of Zod, and Zod has been conquering planets. He's created the Kryptonian Empire in the galaxy. And Zod is setting his sights on yeah, we'll call it Earth. So there you go. That was my idea for the Superman of the Fire Nation. I know, it's really out there, and you can see why it got away from me. You can honestly see why it got away from me. It was a little too ambitious, honestly. But yeah, there you go, guys. That was pretty much my idea for a DC Elseworlds Avatar crossover. So comment below, let me know. What did you guys think of it? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? And how would you kind of do this story? I'm really curious to know how you guys would play this story out. Just once again, comment below, let me know, and once again, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.